Hi, I'm Mia Martinez, a 28-year-old event planner in Chicago. And let me tell you, this story is going to make your jaw drop. Mia, this is it, Mom exclaimed, her voice trembling as I stepped out in the fourth dress of the day. The tears in her eyes told me everything. The strapless silk gown hugged my curves perfectly, with delicate pearl beading shimmering under the boutique's lights. You really think James will love it? I asked, turning to face her. Honey, he'd marry you in a trash bag, Mom said with a warm smile, before adding with a sigh. But Barbara. Her face darkened. Don't even start, I groaned. She's already driving me insane with her helpful suggestions. I mimicked my future mother-in-law's haughty tone. Oh, darling, surely you don't want roses. They're so common. You haven't told her about dress shopping, have you? Mom asked, narrowing her eyes. God, no. She'd probably torch the dress if it wasn't from her precious designer friend in Paris. I met James at one of my events, a charity gala for his law firm. While the other rich guys were busy getting drunk and hitting on waitresses, James was helping an elderly guest who'd slipped on the dance floor. I knew then he was different. 6 incredible months later, we moved in together, and last spring he proposed at our favorite coffee shop. Simple. Sweet. Perfect. But Barbara, she was anything but simple. Girl, the Wilson estate is insane. My assistant, Katie, gushed over lunch. Did you see their fountain? It's bigger than my entire apartment. Yeah, well, I'd get married in a McDonald's parking lot if it meant Barbara would back off, I muttered. My phone buzzed. Another text from her. Barbara, surprise. I've booked a string orchestra for the wedding. You're welcome. I stared at the screen, dumbfounded. James's college band was supposed to play. At dinner that night, Barbara dropped another bombshell. I've revised the seating chart, she announced. We'll put Amelia at a table near the kitchen entrance. More? Appropriate, don't you think? Appropriate? I blurted, my fork clattering against the plate. Mom's just trying to help with logistics, James said, touching my arm. But I noticed my mom tense every time Barbara walked into a room. One night, I found her crying over an old photo album. Mom, what's going on with you and Barbara? She slammed the album shut. Some doors are better left closed, baby. And then there was Lucy, James's sister. Sweet smiles in public. But I caught her whispering with Barbara too many times. We can't let her find out about him, I overheard Lucy hiss. Everything would be ruined. At the engagement party, Barbara cornered me at the bar. Your mother worked in Lake Forest years ago, didn't she? Around the time of that unfortunate incident. My mom bolted from the room, and I found her chain smoking in the garden, a habit she'd given up years ago. Mom, what is going on? Not here, Mia, she said, trembling. I confronted James that night. Don't you think it's weird how your mom is so obsessed with my mom's past? And why is she being so controlling of the guest list? You're overthinking it, he said dismissively. She just wants everything to be perfect. But whose version of perfect? And why the extra security at a family wedding? My event planner instincts were screaming that something was off. A few days later, while unpacking in our new apartment, my mom picked up a photo from the engagement party. Who's this man behind Barbara? Some family friend, I said. She's been oddly insistent about him attending all our events. Why? Mom's face went pale. She fumbled in her purse and pulled out an old newspaper clipping. Because I've seen him before. His name is William. He embezzled $50,000 from my business 7 years ago. What? He vanished before we could press charges. The police said someone paid off his debts. My phone buzzed. Lucy. Hey sis, Mom wants us all over for dinner tonight. She's got a big announcement about the wedding. That evening, Barbara was practically glowing. I've added a special segment to the reception program, she said. A family reunion of sorts. What do you mean? James asked. Barbara smiled, her eyes gleaming. Oh, it's not my place to say. Just trust me, darling. Later that night, I overheard Barbara and Lucy talking in the study. William is so excited. Mom, after 30 years, you're finally acknowledging him, Lucy said, her voice barely above a whisper. Keep your voice down. Barbara snapped. No one can know he's my son, not until the wedding, especially not that nosy Mia. My heart stopped. William was Barbara's secret son and my mom's former employee who had stolen from her years ago. I couldn't let it go. Digging deeper, I unearthed court records. William had multiple fraud charges, all mysteriously dropped. Bank statements revealed Barbara had been funneling money from the family business to an offshore account. The pieces were falling into place. "James, we need to talk about your mom," I said the next night. "Can it wait? I'm swamped with this case about missing trust fund money," he replied, looking exhausted. "That's just it. I found something about Barbara and your family's money," James groaned. "Not this again. You're being paranoid." "She's been stealing from your dad's company, James. I have proof. And she's been sending money to her secret son, William." "Her what?" His face hardened. "This is ridiculous." He stormed out before I could explain. An hour later, Lucy showed up at my door. "You need to back off, Mia. Stop digging into family business." "Or what?" I asked, crossing my arms. "Or your mom's little tax problem might find its way to the IRS. Are you threatening me?" "Just delivering a message. Drop it or things will get ugly," Lucy hissed before leaving. Shaking, I called my mom. "They're blackmailing me. Barbara's planning something big at the wedding." "I found more photos," Mom said, her voice grim. "William isn't just Barbara's son. He's been running scams with her for years. That money he stole from me, it's probably sitting in her offshore accounts." "Why wait until the wedding to announce him?" I asked. "Think about it, Mia. What better way to legitimize her criminal son than introducing him at a high society event? Once he's publicly accepted as a Wilson, no one will question where his money comes from." The morning of the wedding, Barbara barged into my bridal suite. "I've arranged for William to sit at the main table," she announced. "Funny, I don't remember approving that," I replied coldly. "It's non-negotiable," she said, her tone saccharine. "This is a very special day for all of us." Before I could respond, my mom stormed in. "Get out, Barbara." "Still bitter about your little financial troubles, Amelia?" Barbara sneered. "Water under the bridge. You're not ruining my daughter's wedding with your criminal spawn," Mom shot back. "Criminal? I have no idea what you mean. Like you didn't know he stole from my business. Like you haven't been funding his scams for years." The door flew open and Lucy rushed in, panicked. "Mom, William is here, but there's a problem. Some guy is asking questions about him. Says he's from the FBI. Barbara's face went pale. "Handle it," she hissed. "I'm not letting anything stop this announcement." "What announcement?" James appeared in the doorway, his expression suspicious. "Nothing, darling. Just wedding surprises," Barbara said quickly. "Your mother is about to introduce her secret son," Mom said, stepping forward. "The one she had as a teenager and gave up for adoption. The same man who's been stealing money from your family business." "That's ridiculous," James exclaimed, but his voice wavered. "Is it?" Barbara lunged for her purse, but Lucy blocked her. "Mom, don't," Lucy pleaded. The purse fell to the ground, spilling papers everywhere. Bank statements, fake IDs, photos of Barbara with William spanning decades. "You knew?" James turned to Lucy, his voice trembling. "I was protecting her," Lucy cried. "Family helps family." "We're done here," I said, grabbing my mom's hand. "This wedding is off." "You can't do this," Barbara shrieked. "I already told everyone about William's surprise." "What surprise?" James demanded. "Her plan to legitimize her criminal empire," I said. Suddenly, security burst into the room. "Mrs. Wilson, FBI agents are here to see you, and William Crawford." William tried to run, but they caught him at the back gate. Barbara shoved past us, racing into the reception hall, only to be stopped by FBI agents who placed her in handcuffs. "Mrs. Wilson, we have some questions about financial transactions," one agent said. "This is all a mistake," Barbara shouted. "Robert, tell them." James's father stepped forward, his face solemn. "No, Barbara, no more covering up your mistakes." Everything exploded at once, guests screaming, photographers snapping photos, and Barbara's cries as she was led away. 6 months later, my mom and I were having coffee when the news broke. Barbara Wilson, socialite and wife of business mogul Robert Wilson, sentenced to 15 years for money laundering and fraud. "Karma's a beast, isn't it?" Mom said with a satisfied smile. My phone buzzed. "James." "Hey, did you see the news?" "Yeah," I said softly. "How are you holding up?" "Dad's doing better. Now that the divorce is final, life has started to stabilize. James is healing and the Wilson family business is finally on the mend after we cut off all of William's accounts. Lucy took a plea deal, 5 years for her role in the scheme. She confessed everything. How she helped William target small businesses, how she covered up Barbara's fraudulent transfers, and how deep the corruption ran. 15 years behind bars. I bet Barbara's designer suits look stunning in orange. Then James texted me. Listen, can we meet? There's something I need to say in person. An hour later, we sat in our old favorite coffee shop. I was an idiot, James said, staring into his untouched coffee. I should have listened when you tried to warn me. You were manipulated your whole life, I said softly. That's what toxic people do. He sighed. Dad found more evidence. William wasn't Barbara's only secret. She's been running cons since college. All those charity galas, money laundering fronts. My phone buzzed with a news alert. William Crawford, son of Barbara Wilson, faces additional charges in a multi-state fraud scheme. You know what's crazy? James shook his head. He was stealing from Dad's company even while Barbara was planning to announce him as her son. Talk about biting the hand that feeds you. Some people never change, I said, shaking my head. How's the company? Better than ever. Stocks are up since Dad took back control. Turns out, removing criminals from your board does wonders for business. And you? Starting fresh? Actually, yeah, I joined a new law firm, he said, then pulled out an envelope. And, remember that band we wanted for our wedding? They're playing next month. James, I'm not asking for a wedding. Just dinner. A chance to start over. No toxic family, no secrets. Just us this time. Before I could respond, another alert popped up on my phone. Socialite Lucy Wilson begins prison sentence. Sources say brother William Crawford implicated her in additional schemes. Guess even prison doesn't stop family drama, I said, laughing. Speaking of family, he said, grinning, your mom's business expansion looks amazing. Yeah, funny how removing a corrupt competitor like Barbara opens up the market. Mom's got 3 new locations now. So about that dinner? He asked, leaning in. I looked at him, really looked. The trust fund kid I once knew was gone, replaced by someone who learned the hard way about toxic people and the importance of standing up for what's right. One condition, I said, smirking. We're taking separate cars, and you're paying. Deal, he said, laughing. And don't forget, your mom ruined my wedding dress with those handcuff scuff marks. For the first time in months, we both laughed. It felt real. What would you do if you discovered your future mother-in-law wasn't just toxic but downright dangerous? Would you expose her immediately, risking your relationship, or quietly gather evidence while watching your partner be manipulated? This story reminds us that sometimes the people closest to us can live double lives, and that the perfect family image often hides the darkest secrets. Have you ever dealt with toxic in-laws or family members who showed their true colors before a major event? How did you handle it? And what red flags do you wish you'd noticed sooner? I'd love to hear your experiences. Share them in the comments below.